I ain't afraid of no ghost. What's up guys, my name is Guillaume, this is Thomann's Guitars and Basses, and welcome to this first episode of Tonebusters. Such a missed opportunity, I definitely should have called that show Tonebusters. But yeah, anyways, happy Halloween! I hope you're all having a great day today. In this series, I show you guys how to get the sounding and playing right on your favorite songs, so let me know in the comment section which one you want me to cover and I'll get to it as soon as I can. But today, we are covering Ghostbusters by Ray Parker Jr., starting with a guitar. And this is a bit of a grey area because the recording of the song was not super well documented in terms of gear. And then we went on seeing Ray playing that song on Telecasters, Les Paul with P90, like regular Les Pauls with humbuckers. But to me, so like we're thinking, you know, obviously early to mid 80s, it sounds like a Les Paul into a Marshall to me. It's very rich, very full, it's very honky, so I went on with our regular studio Les Paul, which Chris modified recently, so those are actually Lola humbuckers, I think at this point, but it doesn't really matter, they're like medium sort of vintage voiced humbuckers anyways, so I'll be in the bridge position for that whole song, and now we're going to talk about our amp and pedal setup. So as I was saying, the recording wasn't really well documented. Ray Parker was seen on stage with so many types of amplifiers. It's been like, by the way, I really want to mention that right now. He's such an underestimated musician. Everyone knows him as the guy who made Ghostbusters, but no one remembers that he was like leading guitar player in Motown at the age of 11 or 12, something like that. He played with Marvin Gaye, he played with Barry White, with Joe Cocker. It's just like, he's a monster session musician, a monster songwriter, and he deserves more credit. But anyways, as I was saying before, the amp is not really well documented, but to my ears, it does sound like a very Marshall-esque kind of mid-pushed, almost honky, mid-80s guitar tone. So I went with the Marshall Mark II Studio, as per usual. This is my mini Plexi. It's fairly cranked, a lot of mids, cut down on the bass and treble because it's very focused in that song. It's kind of in the background, so it's hard to tell, but I think that's about as good as it's going to get for that one. I don't have any pedals on the floor. Just a Les Paul into a Marshall, and you know, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. It's going to sound like this. And again, that's an approximation. I know none of you guys actually asked me to cover Ghostbusters on that format, but it's just for a bit of fun and for a monster guitar player and session player and just songwriter in general. And that song is so cool. But with that said, I really dig that sound, so let's go on the final part of that video, which as usual is the most important, and is how to play the riff. And now I'm going to steal a bunch of tricks that Ray Parker Jr. actually explained himself on a bunch of tutorial videos. If you're interested in his career as well, I'll link videos by Tim Pierce in the description. He's done like a 3-part interview with him that is just the best thing ever. He's got the most incredible life, and the way he tells it is just extraordinary. But there is a video where Ray actually explains like kind of how he went about creating the riff and playing it. And the first tip he gives is that you should hold your pick sideways. So not by not the pointy end of it on the strings, but the round end of it on the strings. It's debatable how much of an effect this is going to have on the tone, but he says that's how he did it, so that's how I'm going to do it. The second thing that I want to mention is that all of the tabs available for that song are actually wrong. They want to cover both the guitar part and part of the synth or like keyboard part that lays on top of that. And so you're going to see a lot of tabs that actually go like this. Which sounds really cool, and it's really like, it's the song, it's the riff anyways, like regardless of what kind of notes you put in there. But that, you know, E and then second four on the E string is not in the original. And that's also part of that video where Ray explains it. You can see it in every live performance. It's really just based on the B power chord and then A, E chord. So the actual way of playing the song is going to look something like this. So yeah, it's actually a lot simpler than most styles make it out to be. It's really just based on that 3-chord progression, the B, E, A. By the way, I forgot to mention, we are tuned in E standard, right? Nothing complicated on this side. But yeah, based on that, and then you've got that cool sort of lead lick for the I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost part of the song, which is really awesome. And with that, I think that's it, guys. You have all the tools you need to hit the tone on Ghostbusters by Ray Parker Jr. Again, don't take this episode too seriously. It's kind of a Halloween special. I'm not saying by any means that this is the rig that was used for the recording. It's most certainly isn't, but it's kind of the right ballpark if you're looking to get to that sound and just learn the riff because it's so iconic. So as usual, I hope that you enjoyed that video. If so, if you can consider liking it and subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss out on future episodes, that would be phenomenal. Don't forget to let me know in the comment section which song you'd like me to cover next, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. And in the meantime, I wish you all a fantastic week, and I'll see you next Monday in a new episode of Hit the Tone. Tone Busters, sorry, Tone Busters.